Hi, I'm Brent Stafford, and this is RegWatch by RegulatorWatch.com. Something is deeply wrong at the heart of public health, and nowhere is it more visible than in tobacco control. It's not just flawed science or policy overreach, it's a deeper rot, a crusading belief that adult autonomy doesn't matter. At the root is a belief that history itself is marching toward a righteous end, and that nothing, not evidence, not ethics, not even lives saved, can be allowed to get in the way. This belief has a name: teleology. In classical philosophy, teleology is the idea that the world is moving toward a predetermined end, a final purpose. The Greeks called that purpose the telos. The tobacco control movement's original telos was clear: end smoking-related disease and death. They even gave it a name: the tobacco endgame. But in recent years, a quiet mutation has taken place, with smoking rates collapsing across the Western world and more than 100 million people switching to vaping and other safer nicotine products. The telos has changed. No longer is the goal to end smoking. Now it's to end all nicotine use. And with that shift, the war on smoking became a war on nicotine, even in its far safer, smoke-free forms. Tobacco control's new endgame has gone almost entirely unchallenged. No media reckoning, no public debate, no policy vote. It simply happened, as if handed down from on high. And make no mistake, this shift in purpose changes everything about tobacco control. For years, tobacco control crusaders justified their tactics by claiming they were saving lives. But now, with nicotine as the target, those tactics may no longer be justifiable. Nicotine doesn't cause cancer or lung disease, and it's only mildly more addictive than caffeine. So to justify their war on nicotine, tobacco control must distort science, smear harm reduction, and grossly exaggerate the risks of safer products. To reach their nicotine-free utopia, every alternative, every compromise, every inconvenient data point becomes a threat. Tobacco harm reduction, a dangerous industry plot. Declining youth smoking, just a distraction. Millions of adults quitting with vaping, doesn't count, they haven't really quit. In a teleological system, facts that don't serve the goal are dismissed, and people who stand in the way are crushed. That's the nature of teleological thinking. Truth isn't measured by evidence, it's measured by alignment. If a fact advances the end, it's welcomed. If it doesn't, it's heresy. Which brings us to big tobacco. For decades, tobacco control has defined itself in opposition to the sins of the cigarette industry, and for good reason. From the 1950s through the 1990s, the global tobacco industry denied the science, deceived the public, and delayed regulation. It's an inglorious past, but tobacco control treats these actions as original sins, ones that can never be forgiven. Even as companies like Philip Morris International now generate over 40% of their revenue from smoke-free products, even as British American Tobacco pushes toward 25% non-combustibles, even as major players invest tens of billions in research, comply with regulation, and pivot toward a smoke-free future, they remain cast as villains.